says, why don't you sell me the land? And he says, Syafaat. He gives it to you. In other words, out of respect for the elder, he gives you the land. Now, he himself was not going to do it, but since somebody of respect and status came, you put in a good word and it got through. That's the idea of a Syafaat. Not Shafa'ah, but Syafaat. It's a related word. Now, Allah Azza wa Jalla in this ayah talks about people who make a case for someone else. So let me give you some easier examples, not from old times, but our times, of Shafa'ah and of Shuf'ah, before we look at the ayah. Somebody applies for a job at the company, and they're trying to maybe get a job as an accountant or as a secretary, something. It's one of your cousins. And so you take the resume and you give it to your manager, and you put in a good word, because you want your cousin to get the job. So you're giving him a Syafaat. Now this is a positive kind of Syafaat. You're trying to recommend someone or help someone out, put in a good word for them. You know when you give your resume, sometimes you give references? And each of those references are actually a shafi' for you, actually. They're called a tazkiyah also in modern Arabic, but in the olden Arabic, it's actually a shafi'. In other words, somebody calls them and says, hey, so what do you think about Muhammad? What do you think? We should hire this person? Did they work with you before? And you say, it was an excellent employee. This is a great guy, very responsible, this and that and the other. And then therefore they give him the job, right? That's the idea of a recommendation or a reference. So a shafi' is someone who puts in a good word for you, helps you out. This is shafa'ah hasana. This is shafa'ah hasana. Now, before I go on, I want to define shafa'ah hasana in two more ways. The idea of shafa'ah is that somebody trusts you. They came and they asked your opinion because they trust you. They don't know this other person. They don't know anything about them, but they know you. So your opinion is all they have. So they're going to listen to you because they trust you. Now the problem is when we trust someone, then sometimes you and I can take advantage of that. We might just say, it's my cousin, I know he's lazy. And I know I used to go with him in college and he was late to every class. And I know when he got his job, he's been fired 3 times because he oversleeps. But he's my cousin. So when they ask me, should I give him a job, I'm going to say yes. You want to tell your family, and he calls you before and he says, Akhi, I'm your cousin. You have to keep family ties. He does something, and then you're like, okay, I'll take care of it. So you go to the manager and you say, this is a good guy. This is going to be a good hire. Now there's 2 problems with that. One of the problems with that is that you, later on, is it possible 1 month later, 2 months later, that guy, your cousin does the same thing he's been doing all this time, he gets fired again? He messes up again. Now who looks bad? Not just him. Now you look bad too. And you lost trust. Your manager who used to trust you no longer trusts you. Because you just tried to help your cousin. And so next time you give somebody a recommendation or give your opinion, your manager will say, okay, inshallah, I'll look into it. So that's it. You don't get any further than that. So this is the subject we're talking about. Now Allah says, مَنْ يَشْفَعْ شَفَاعَةً حَسَنًا. Whoever makes a good recommendation, whoever puts in a good word, but a good word, hasan, beautiful and good, actually has to, everything of it should be good. The inside of it and the outside of it. Meaning the inside of it is truly sincere, it's honest, it's the accurate assessment. And on the outside you said good things also. Sometimes the shafa'ah hasana could be that you say, don't hire this person. Sometimes that's shafa'ah hasana too. Shafa'ah hasana is not only that you say, please, give this person a job. No, yes, please, marry this one. This is a good guy. This is a good guy, I know him. It's not always that. Sometimes shafa'ah hasana is, actually, I think you should stay away from him. He's been through 3 divorces, and he's got 2 court cases. Stay away from that guy. That's also a shafa'ah hasana. You understand? This is important to know. Because when we hear the word shafa'ah hasana, you start thinking, well, I should say good things about everyone. No. You have to be honest about everyone. What is expected from you is that you're honest about everyone. And now when you are honest, there are 2 things that happen. One, you help somebody get something good. You're honest and you say, I recommend this person for marriage, this is a good sister, this is a good brother. Or you recommend someone for a job, or you recommend someone for a partnership in a business. Or you recommend someone you're about to go into college or something, they're going into a dorm. They say, hey, you know this person? They said you know him. Should I become his roommate? You say it's a good guy. You should become his roommate. It'll be good for you. When you do these kinds of things, then Allah Azza wa Jal says, فَلَهُ نَصِيبٌ مِّنْهَا. Then whatever good happens as a result, you get a share. You get a piece of whatever good that came. So if you recommended somebody good for marriage, to the best of your knowledge, you gave good information, you did not cover or hide anything, because it's your family or friend or whatever. You know, because a lot of times people do that. When the marriage is happening, people lie about their son, and they lie about their brother, and they lie about their family. Because when people try to ask, you only present the good picture. You only say what people want to hear, but you don't really give the honest truth. We have this unfortunate reality in many cultures, Muslim cultures and non-Muslim cultures. We say family first. You ever heard this before? Family first? Actually, family first is only in some things. In our deen, truth first. Honesty first. And sometimes, وَلَوْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَوِ الْوَالِدَيْنِ وَالْأَقْرَبِينَ. You have to stand up for justice, even if it's against yourself. Even sometimes you have to speak up against your own parents. It'll happen if they're lying, if they're cheating someone in business. You don't say family first. You don't say, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا when they're doing good. That's not how that works. The same way, even if sometimes you have to speak against your own family, the whole family is doing something wrong, you can't stand by it. You can't just let it happen. And sometimes they have family meetings and you're told, don't say anything, listen, your cousin's about to get married. We all know it's problems, but don't create problems, okay? Nobody say anything. Okay, now let's make salah. And then you're reciting, وَمَن يَشْفَعْ شَفَاعَةً. At the job, with the family, with friends. You know your friends better than anyone else. And you know your friends' problems too. You have a friend who smokes all the time. You have a friend that misses salawat all the time, and now he's getting married. And their family comes to you and says, you're his friend, what do you think? And you're thinking in your head, well, he's my friend. I gotta look out for my friend. I should say he's a great guy. Or should I tell them honestly? Somebody's giving their daughter to this man. Would you want your daughter, when somebody comes for your daughter, wouldn't you want the truth? You wouldn't want honesty? So this is when يَشْفَعْ شَفَاعَةً حَسَنًا فَيَكُنْ لَهُ نَصِيبٌ مِّنْهُ. He's going to have a nasib from it. A nasib, actually, the interesting word that's used. A portion that is set for you, you had to have it. In other words, everything that person, you recommended some people for marriage, and after the marriage they had children, those children became ulama, those ulama served thousands of people. Every good that came from that marriage, you have a share. Just because you put in the right work. Rasulullah ﷺ described this phenomenon very beautifully. It's very concise hadith. الدَّالُ عَلَى الْخَيْرِ كَفَاعِلِهِ. Someone who points to something good is exactly like someone who did it. Somebody's standing outside, hey, where can I make salah? Somebody's in a building, where can I pray? Oh, go to this floor, they have a salah. Then you can go pray there. This guy comes up and makes salah, and you are sitting in your office, pretending to work. But you're getting rewarded for the guy making salah. You're getting rewarded for that. So Allah is giving us a huge incentive. Allah is encouraging us to develop this habit of becoming honest and truthful in the recommendations we make, good or bad. Now let's talk about good recommendations. That's actually good. I give you about the warning. You have to be honest about warning others. But what about even in good things? Sometimes we become a little bit jealous. You have a culture, sometimes among many Muslim societies, where if you see a young man and he's very intelligent and he got two promotions already and you've been in the company for 10 years and you didn't get 2 promotions, and now they come to you and he's about to get his 3rd promotion, so you put in, no, you don't know this guy. Actually, he's very immature. Actually, you add in a few things. I don't want, and you begin like this, I don't want to say anything. And then you understand? This is shafa'ah sayyi'ah. That's what's called shafa'ah sayyi'ah. Now Allah talks about both of them. مَنْ يَشْفَعْ شَفَاعَةً حَسَنَةً يَكُنْ لَهُ نَصِيبٌ مِنْهَا وَمَنْ يَشْفَعْ شَفَاعَةً سَيِّئَةً. whoever makes a bad recommendation. What is a bad recommendation? A bad recommendation isn't don't hire this person. That could be a good recommendation if it's honest. But the guy deserves a job. He deserves to work there. And you still don't recommend him. Sometimes this could be because of race. Sometimes this could be because of family. Sometimes this could be because you don't like the guy. You just don't like him. Somebody who's a little bit older doesn't like young people. Somebody who's a little bit younger doesn't like old people. I don't want an old guy to get the job. So he does the interview. He does a perfect job at the interview. He says, no good. Not recommended, because I don't want old people walking around in my office. Come on. Let's get some better looking people in here, you know? So they don't give a recommendation. This is Syafaat Sayyi'ah.